Josh sure has a beautiful library. This is really nice. It's got everything in this here. Billiards, I used to be good at that. Oh dear goodness, I didn't know the camera was on. Hello everyone and welcome to Literary Gladiators. This is a show where we all discuss and debate literature. Well, today I'm discussing and debating some literature, and in all of its form. And as I failed to say in my other video, if it's written work, it's game! I can tell the enthusiasm behind the camera is right now riveting. Anyway, I'm Charlie, and this is another one of my individual videos. So, let's get started. This is The Open Window from Saki. It's a short story that Josh will say technically assigned to me, and I read it a couple times, and I loved it. I thought it was a really great short story. It was only, usually when I read a short story, it's maybe about, it'll take me about a half hour to read. This only took me 15-20 minutes to read, which doesn't, all that says is how accessible it was. But for me, I still had a little bit of a hard time. But anyway, let's get to it, shall we? We will put a link up as well for The Open Window, and you can always go to your library, which we always recommend. Go to the library, see if you can get it there. There's a whole collection, I'm sure, of Saki's work. I don't know. I don't have too much with me now with Saki himself, but I can tell terrific writer, terrific. Anyway, The Open Window. I first I read it a few times because when I say few, I'm talking maybe about 18. No, it's a slight exaggeration, but still. Anyway, it took me a little bit to get. How do we read it? We read it, and that's what we do with everything, pretty much. We're literature majors. We read everything over and over and over again. Still, basically it's about a gentleman. His name is Mr. Nuttall. Remember, Nuttall, okay? N-U-T-T-E-L. We can spell Charlie. Nut. Just remember that in Nuttall, okay? There's a reason I'm saying that. He's coming over to pay a visit to Mrs. Sappleton. It's a very nice name. Is that British? Might be British. I don't know. I could be wrong. But still, Mrs. Sappleton will see you soon. Okay, anyway, I digress. I'm working on a lot of other things right now, as we say. So my mind goes like this, as you probably can tell. He's coming over and paying a visit, and Mrs. Sappleton is, whom I thought at the time, halfway. It's only, I believe, 4 very small chapters, and it's really, it's really nice. It's really nice. That's the word we don't use in literature, describing the dead word, I was told. It's really well expressed, I believe. This Mr. Nuttall is apparently, he's sick of something. He has some type of disease. We don't know what that is offhand. And he cannot be physically exercising, which is something I can't do either because I'm just a lazy anyway. No, I'm kidding. I'm a substitute teacher. I work real good on my legs every day. I have to wear sneakers to work. I don't like to, but I have to. Anyway, enough of that. Fire drill in the pouring rain. Lovely. I'm under the assumption, as a reader myself, I'm under the assumption, oh, maybe she's not the one who's doing too well as well. Because the Open Window itself is, she lost, I believe, her 2 sons and her husband, and of course a dog, I believe it was a spaniel. Anyway, he's undergoing some treatment. He's not allowed to really do a lot, Basically, when you're sick, or in this case, very sick, you can't do much. He's walking, he has a cane, or as I would say, a stick. So I believe this is back quite a bit. Her husband goes out, snipe shooting. Basically, they're out hunting. They're hunting. And they don't come back. This is anniversary. The window is open. This is October, and Mr. Nuttall wonders, why is the window open? He says, well, excuse me, this window apparently, what I thought was, or as interpreted, is a portal to heaven or another dimension, because 3 years ago, these men have never come back. 2 boys, dog, and I believe the husband. Yes. My husband and brothers will be home directly from shooting. Yes, that was 2 years ago, after an accident. We assume, we think. However, she's just going on with her life and trying to cope, and she has, I believe it's her daughter, a very, in the very first, actually no, it's her aunt. My mistake on that one. My aunt will be down presently, Mr. Nuttall, said a very self-possessed young lady of 15. In the meantime, you must try to and put up with me. Very first, right there's your opening. And his name is Frampton Nuttall. Nice name, Frampton. When I hear Frampton, I think of, I'm saying myself, it's either British or I'm thinking of Peter Frampton. That's a very bad joke, I'm sorry. It's the 70s music, okay? I like that stuff. I digress, I tell you, I digress. But still. Anyway, enough of that. The window is open. Why is this window open? 3rd anniversary of a passing. He's confused. It's October. And it was actually, I think, a warm October day. Cutting to the chase. I think they're at the kitchen table, and this is a beautiful home, you know, and it's a window, not a door, it's a window. Window of opportunity? I don't know. Still. Portal to heaven, or another dimension, like I said. Because they do come back. And Mr. Nuttall, he turns, while discussing, you know, his treatment and whatnot, and why he's there, maybe visit and what. Apparently his back is turned toward the door, or the window, I should say, excuse me. And she's listening, Mrs. Sappleton, she's listening to his, you know, his case or whatnot, his story. Nuttall, okay? Nut. I thought he was of sound mind. And of course, I don't mean that in a derogatory way, but I'm saying just for the sake of the presentation right now. And back then, if this was a while ago, and again, this may be contemporary, I don't know offhand, I'm sorry. But still, he turns slowly, and in acting I was taught never look away from a camera, but still, he turns slowly, and believe it or not, they actually come in. She's talking to him at the table, and here they are now. She's at alert attention, as was put in the story. Alert attention, you know. It's like kind of when you're in the army and the drill sergeant walks in. Yes, sir. Or, yes, ma'am. Whatnot, still. I take no credit, I never served. I can't even serve in the postal service. That's mail, not cookies. Sorry. Where are the stamps? Well, I thought I'd make us. Yeah. Anyway, I don't work as a postal office manager, whatnot. But still. Did these people come back from the dead? Imagine, if you will. No, Twilight reference right there. They must have come back, or Mr. Nuttall has really gone off his. Shall we say, he's gone off the edge, and he looks around and he sees them coming in. He's thinking in his mind, okay, they're not coming back. She has the window open because this is how she copes with her loss. It's an anniversary, okay? I'm personally dealing with a loss right now. It's been 2 years. This is actually, as a couple weeks ago, it was the 2nd anniversary. And I have my own little ritual, my own way. I made a pasta bazool for my grandmother, of course, we all know. Morning, and of course I'm burning myself and everything else in the kitchen, destroying the kitchen. I'm like, well, Grandma would be happy. Looking down, maybe saying, you stupid little. Anyway, everyone has their way of remembering somebody who has gone by. So there's in this short story, there's the underlying theme of death, and that's my take on it. You may have something different. You may be sitting there saying, you know, you're wrong, or you're right. Argue, comment, like, subscribe. Let us know what you think. But still, there were underlying themes. There are underlying themes in this short story. always go to a library. Yeah, as he holds the paper, as he holds a story in 3 hands. They come back from their shooting, and he turns and he's like, oh, he grabs his stick, and it's in the very last. Basically, he grabs his stick, his hat, and it's a walking stick for those of you that may not know. Runs out the door, and it actually there's, I think, the comic relief in this, because myself, I love comic relief, but it's a cyclist was actually going by very quickly, because some cyclists can probably at 10 speed, whatnot. Still, this is literature. I like to describe pretty much every single thing, but still, he drives off into the hedge to avoid imminent collision, as per the story. So I believe that's comic relief, and then this is, I believe, in the very last chapter. What happened to him? What's wrong with him? Like, is he the one that's crazy? And when I say crazy, of course, I don't mean that in a condescending way. I'm just saying, conversation. Wait, now, this is a little conversation we're having, I guess. Frampton Nuttall. Nut. Okay? I already did that. I already explained that to you. So that's something I think. And of course, once we read more, he's suffering some type of disease, and maybe it is from up here. Maybe this is from a time where there is no known cure or medicine or treatment available. Still, that's my take on The Open Window from Saki. I highly recommend it, and I recommend all of his other works. Like I said, like, comment, subscribe. Let us know what you think. Let me know what I'm doing, or what you think, if I need improvement, or if I need to, let me know. Just say, hey, we like you. Whatever. Just say the music is actually really good. We like that. Keep that up. So anyway, thank you for joining us with Literary Gladiators. I know I'm wrapping up really quickly, but this library is so full of books that I want to start reading a few of them right now. So anyway, with that aside, as Josh would say, thank you, and for now, keep reading.